you are. Jesus
Hello.
Christ, finally.
What do you mean?
Wait a second. It's not coming through my headphones for some reason.
Okay.
When I specifically told it, it's connected to my headphones. So why is it not playing through my headphones?
I don't know. I don't know what
Ah!
to do.
This is why Mimi Collins said to always use wired headphones. God damn
Oh
it!
my goodness.
Oh, it's gonna ruin everything.
Is it? Oh no. Can you hear me?
Talk again.
Can you hear me now?
John Dick. Are you kidding me?
I
Brett,
wanted to come up, I wanted to come up with something clever, and I couldn't think of anything, so I was just like, ah. I,
you couldn't. John Dick? Not even Dick Johnson?
well, like, no, I would have gone with like Richard Harden or something like that.
And why didn't you go with Richard
Can I
Harden?
change it? Can I change it now?
No, you can't.
Like,
And
oh
you're forever
no.
going to be John Dick. Anytime you have to access Zoom through this email, it's John Dick, baby.
Oh my god.
Welcome to your new life, Johnny boy.
Oh no. No, don't say that. What have I
Um,
done?
love
Oh
this
no.
very atmospheric blue lighting you have going on.
Yeah, I could set it, well, it's supposed to be white, and then I've got the two lamps because I realized like I didn't have any facial lighting whatsoever. And I still kind of don't. There's just
I
like
was about
this
to
lamp,
say, is this you with facial lighting right now?
like I just have this lamp beside
From
me.
behind you? That's
Yeah.
not facial lighting. Brett, what the fuck are you talking about?
I
Have you
don't
seen
know.
movies? When are they ever lit from behind other than for like a dramatic silhouette?
Sometimes, sometimes they are. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't watch enough movies to know.
Yeah. Rachel was like, "Are you sure you want to like talk with Brett about movies and have him pretend like he knows more about movies than you do, like for a Zoom call?" And I was like, "He does. Brett watches way more movies than I do. Brett knows more about movies than I do. Like
Okay.
he does."
This has been antagonistic lately. Okay.
Brett, these 10 Best Picture nominees.
Yeah.
What about these quick spitfire, very easy to knock out very quickly
Oh yeah.
movies
Oh yeah. So quick.
with an average runtime of,
Oh, you got stats.
I got stats, baby, average runtime of 139 minutes apiece. And for those of you out there, that translates into 2 hours and 19 minutes apiece. Apiece.
Hey, hey,
What? Go ahead.
we didn't have the brutalist this year.
We did not.
Thank God for that. 3 hours is the max. I rewatched Return of the King recently, and that third hour, I'm like, all right, that's all right, guys. Let's let's
Hey,
wrap
keep
it
that
up.
down, all right? I don't need to piss off the Lord of the Rings collective out there. Back to these
Okay, yeah,
itty bitty bite sized movies.
they're all almost all are long.
There are only 2 that are under 2 hours, and one of
That's,
those 2 is an hour and 59 minutes. So it just
I
barely
think,
makes it.
because I think what was it? Begonia was like an hour and 47. I
No,
think.
Begonia's the hour 59.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then what was the hour? Was hour 47 the train dreams?
yeah. Hour 43.
Wow.
Shortest one of the bunch. Shortest one of the bunch. Most
Okay.
digestible one of the bunch.
Here's the thing. In my
Yeah,
defense,
explain yourself. No,
okay,
in your defense,
I
which let me preface the defense by saying, um, we've had 2 weeks now. 2 weeks
yeah,
ago, I approached you about this idea, in which you said, yeah, let me try to watch 3 movies. And I said, I've not seen 8 of them. So I was able to watch 8 movies, many of which
Are super
are
long.
average of 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Yep.
I filmed, edited, and released a video. Kept up to date on Drag Race. I've kept up to date on A Night of Seven Kingdoms. And so, with all of that out of the way, your defense.
In my defense number 1, I work roughly 65 hours a week. That takes up a lot of time. Defense number 2, most of the days of free time that I had this week and this last week, I already had plans. I watched Sentimental Value and Hamnet in theaters back to back, and then came home and put on Train Dreams, and I was just,
What?
I was like,
You set yourself up for failure.
I did, yeah, and then I didn't have it in me on
Especially
Saturday.
after Hamnet, the emotional roller coaster of that film. You can't watch anything else other than like Snoopy.
So, how do you want to do this? Do
We're
you
gonna
want to
start bottom up.
bottom up? Okay.
So
Well, at the
I
bottom
think
of mine,
no. You're not allowed. No.
I was going to say, I think you already know which one it is based on the fact that
No, you're not allowed to put Train Dreams as the last one. I'm not allowed. So you got to fucking figure it out, okay? Train
Do you want me
Dreams
to
is not
watch it
going at the
while we're
bottom.
talking? You want me to watch it in the background while we're having this conversation?
No.
Okay.
The most important experience of Train Dreams is the visuals.
Okay. All right.
So
All
Train
right.
Dreams is not number 10 because there's no way that Train Dreams is number 10 because
Okay, so
there is a worst film in this list, and
I already know what it is
it
for
is
you.
not Train Dreams. Okay? So I'm not allowing that to be your number 10. It's going to be the real number 10.
Here's the
Which,
thing. It's your number 10. It's my number 8.
how do you know?
Because we talked about it previously.
No,
Oh, it's not. It's not what I'm thinking it is.
it's not what you think it is.
Oh, I. Ooh.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and we're going to
And
say
you're gonna
what
let.
number 10 is, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm not. You said I'm not allowed to have Train Dreams at 10.
You're not.
Then
You're just
what?
not.
What am I supposed to put?
Whatever 9 was for you.
Oh no! You're not gonna like this. Oh my god. Okay.
This isn't easy. What do you mean I'm not going to like this? Oh,
I have a very I have a very it's not intentionally contrarian, but it is 10, 9, 8,
8,
7,
7, 6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
3,
3, 2, 1,
1.
F1. Brett!
Autumn! Autumn! Okay. Okay, look, we have to.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, it's our ranking of them. It is. Our ranking.
Your opinions are invalid.
Oh,
I don't trust you anymore.
Okay. To be fair, here, objectively, Hamnet is a better movie. F1, yes, absolutely is objectively the worst of the nominees. I agree. But this is our ranking for our enjoyment of the nominees. It's not, if you would ask me to rank them based off who I think deserves it the most, Hamnet would be near the top. But for me personally, it did not do a lot for me.
This is a
I'm
very
sorry.
interesting way to find out that you apparently don't have a soul or a
Okay.
heart, that you don't like
Okay.
appreciate love and life and grief.
Oh my God. Okay. I knew this was coming. All right. Look.
You just don't like, yeah, good performances in film. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Powerful moving writing that like breaks you down in tears countless amount of times. To where you're just sobbing into your shirt.
Oh
Your
my
entire shirt is soaked because you've just cried so much into it. There's a bunch of senior citizens around you, and they're stone faced because they've seen real shit. They've been through wars and shit. And you haven't been through wars, and you're just sitting there at 2 p.m. on a Monday, trying. You're holding your breath, holding your
Oh
breath.
my God.
So you're not sitting there going.
No. Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know how to move forward with this information. I really. This has
Okay.
been so great, Brett. Thank you so much for chiming in.
Oh,
I just remembered that I've got
oh,
some really prescient Pop Tarts in a toaster that I have to get to.
don't,
So,
don't do this to me, please.
hmm? Yeah.
Okay. Autumn,
Brett!
objectively, it's like top three of the year. I was in a weird spot when I watched it. Like I said, I watched it right after Sentimental Value, which I really liked, and it just didn't click for me. Like I was already really engaged with one very emotionally powerful movie. Watching them back to back was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Probably again, that's why I've rerun it in my head a couple times. I do think it's extremely well put together. I really like that everyone looks dirty all the time.
Oh my god, the fingernails! The
Yeah.
fingernails! Oh,
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you for saying that. I was like,
Yes.
finally.
Yeah.
These people look grubby and grimy, like they've got their shit in the streets.
Exactly. Yeah. They live in the forest. They're weird. It didn't like hit me. And I was like you in a theater that wasn't stone faced. I was the one stone faced in that one. Everyone else, there was like a theater of like 50 other people. Everyone else was crying, and I was just like sitting there. I was like, I should be crying, but I'm like, okay, all right. I'm so sorry, guys. I know that this is really good, but it just didn't hit me. Because as soon as like the first, little text crawl is up there, I was like, oh, okay. I see exactly where this is going. And I just felt like it was a movie I'd seen before. I've seen Chloe Zhao with Nomadland and not so much Eternals, obviously, but what's her other movie from like 2017? But like it was very much in that style. It sucks because she's very good at what she does, but it was a situation where like knowing beforehand what I was getting into, like Yorgos Lanthimos, I know that his movies are like weird, so like going into his movies, I'm already like kind of hyped up and like just ready to take it. Chloe Zhao is the same way, where she has a super distinct style that's really, really good, but it's also so unique that once you watch one of the movies that she does, you have an idea of where everything else is going, which sucks because again, she's very good at it, but it just didn't hit me. Just it's one of those things where how sometimes you can just tell people are acting. That's just what I just felt like, and I know that that's a stupid way to put it, but
No. I understand completely what you're saying. Like, it's what I kind of call a lot of times when I'm watching a movie. It's like I'm seeing the lines.
yes, yeah,
That's how I tend to describe it. It's like I can feel that you're reading lines
yeah.
instead of just like me thinking this is a person reacting in a situation. I am astonished that that's how you feel about Hamnet. But I'm
I
trying to be respectful of your opinions.
I'm sorry. I think if I had watched it on a different day, it would have like
Yeah.
clicked. I would rewatch it for sure.
I think for me, for me, you have to. Please,
Okay.
please,
All right. Yes.
please
I
rewatch it.
yeah, I
I
will.
I want to say more about it, but I want to talk more about Hamnet later on when we get to my placement of it. For now, I think I just need to shit on
You
F1.
got to talk about F1. Okay. Yeah.
Why
100.
the fuck is this nominated for Best Picture?
I
What
don't
is it
know.
doing here?
I don't know.
What about it is best? It wasn't even it's not even the best sports movie of last year.
It's not.
Honestly, one of my notes, what did I say? God, I have so many. Okay, and we'll get to this later.
Yeah.
But one of my notes is at least Marty Supreme made table tennis look like God's holy dignified sport of prime athleticism and quickness. This is literal life or death, car racing. You
Yeah.
know what I feel? I just watched Wuthering Heights on Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
Many opinions there, but now it's
I
not the
haven't,
time
I
for
haven't, I
that.
haven't gotten to see it yet because Sammy and Michael were in town.
But so someone, I saw someone comment and say, some people should just direct music videos, and that's okay. And with this, I was like, and you know what? And some people should just direct commercials, and that's okay.
That is harsh.
That's what
That
this
is,
movie was just one big commercial, a two and a
yeah,
half hour long commercial,
for F1.
replete with
Okay.
the retail fucking club music the whole time.
Okay. I liked the music. I'm sorry. I,
Every 3 minutes, we get.
yeah, it's not high on my list. I'll say that. I did enjoy it, but yeah, I was when I saw that it got nominated, I was very confused. I feel like if you were gonna go with something like super entertaining from last year or like a non-traditional kind of best picture nominee, I feel like there were other better movies to choose from. For example, it wasn't nominated, but I was genuinely surprised, and it's such a disservice to horror. Bring Her Back, I loved, and Sally Hawkins in that movie.
Sally
The
fucking
fact that
Hawkins.
she did not get nominated pisses me off
It is
because
a slight against all acting.
her character in that movie is the most I've hated a character in so long.
It's so complete. However, like, that is so true. I hated her so much. I so wanted her to, like, fail and succeed and die. But then at the end, when she's in the pool,
Yeah,
and I'm all this, then I feel bad for her. And I'm like, oh God, like this is just a woman who's experienced such intense grief that no person should ever experience. And this is what grief will do to a person. Like,
yeah,
obviously taken to a very extreme.
yeah. Well,
But
it was. I felt that a little bit, but it was way harder for me because I do feel like the main kid looks like Ryan a little bit. Like,
he dies. He
so, like
can't.
as soon as she killed him, I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not on.
no, that was
I
like
was like,
absolutely irredeemable. And
I
I
was like,
kept
wow.
waiting. I don't know about you, but I kept like spoiler alert for Bring Her Back, but bring him back, it don't happen. He don't come
It's not
back.
called Bring Him Back.
No. Oh my God. Poor
Oh,
Andy. I think isn't his name Andy? I
yeah,
think.
it
Okay.
is.
And all of the okay, not just Sally Hawkins though. The kid who plays Andy, the kid who plays Piper, the kid who plays the freak, the little
Dude,
freak.
the fucking knife scene was nuts. As soon as he set it down, I knew exactly where it was going, and I was like, "This isn't gonna be
No.
good.
Oh
This
my
isn't gonna
God.
be good."
I felt
Oh
that
my
in my
god.
intestines. I felt that everywhere.
Oh
I
yeah.
I hated it. I loved it. Chewing on the table.
Oh, ugh.
Horrific.
Body horror done
It's
so well. Yeah.
so well done. I watched like a behind the scenes of, how they managed to do that. And I'm like, this is how we use digital effects. Like we have the practical effect and then the digital enhancement. Those scares were so much more effective than anything that Welcome to Derry did. Not to like throw strays against, but I mean, come on. I like the whole time I was watching
Oh
it, I
my
was like, and
god.
where is this? And where was this level of like artistry and creativity and
Yeah.
developing a really chilling, horrific visual? And I
Yeah.
mean, even just like the obviously like opening
With the videotapes.
with the snuff film. I because I knew nothing about this movie. I watched it at
Mhm.
Rachel's. When I went back to Tennessee, I watched it at Rachel's. And because I was like, I want to watch a horror movie because I've not been watching horror movies since I've lived in
With the
Colorado
basement. Yeah.
because I gotta sleep by myself. And like
Yeah.
even now that I have a roommate, like sitting, we're on different levels. We're on different floors. I'm in a weird basement.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird fucking basement.
It's
So
it's
even
weird.
now, even though I know that there's it's the exact same thing as when I lived in an apartment on my own, where I'm like, I know that there's someone below me, but what is that gonna do when the murderer comes in and they try to kill me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, I want to watch a horror movie with you. Not thinking it through though, because I was still sleeping in their downstairs apartment, so
Oh
separate from the
no.
rest of them. So we watched Bring Her Back, and it was great. The problem still remains that I'm sleeping by myself in their basement B&B. I mean, just look at this wallpaper. Look at it. It's delightful during the day, but it's downright sinister at nighttime. What's that light about? Why is there a light on the wall?
You should have slept on the couch in the living room that
I
night.
should have, but
Yeah.
I knew that they would all be up at like fucking 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll deal with the demons before I wake up at 5 or
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, no, Bring Her Back, I loved. I
Yeah.
can't recommend it enough. And it's just like the perfect marriage of like great writing, like a great setting, like out in the woods. Like
Pretty much all six.
if they used sets, like it was half and half. I remember watching a video about it, but I know that they for sure like did film quite a bit at that house. Like it was an on location
Yeah.
house. And that just like gives that extra level of like believability
Yeah.
and realism to it all.
Yeah.
And God, yeah, the performances were next level.
Yeah.
And I found that I just really child acting and child performers is are so hard to get right that when it
Yeah.
is done right, I lose my fucking mind for it. And this is one where they absolutely nail it. F1 I thought was it's such a dad movie.
Yes, it is. It also it bothered me because of like how often it asks you to suspend your disbelief. It's something that I don't like about sports movies is how frequently it's just either the power of friendship prevails or you do something that to the untrained eye seems like, oh yeah, of course, like why don't we do that? But if you know anything about the sport, you're like, that's the stupidest fucking thing. Like him intentionally hampering other cars, that's illegal. You can't do that
I
in
was watching and I'm
F1.
like, I don't know anything about F1. I've never watched F1 in my life. I'm like, but I'm very curious what people who do watch F1 think of all these ways. And I'm like, this doesn't make me necessarily root for them that they're finding these like back alley cheatery ways to win. Later on, it is more about like the willingness to push the risk, which that is like, okay, fine, whatever. But
Like the swapping out of the tires is cool. Like the little marginal upgrades that they make to make the cars more aerodynamic, like things like that,
yeah,
where
yeah,
you're
where it
getting a
takes
bit
like
more
actual
speed.
ingenuity of like, how are we actually going to make this better versus how can we like trick our way into a winning spot that like eventually like okay if that becomes what you do that's going to work for one season.
Because then everyone's gonna hate you because they're gonna know that you're like that team that is always doing like weird, sneaky shit to
Well then
win.
but then also like there's only so many sneaky ways you can get around to win. Like it's not like an infinite chasm of like a bag of tricks that you can keep
Yeah,
pulling out. It's not Mario Kart where you can throw a banana on the racetrack. Like There's
Yeah.
only so many things that you can do. And it's like, okay, well, once you've done it once, that kind of ruins the surprise. So once we start you gearing, like, notice you gearing up to do that again, we're now going to know how to defend against it.
So I did enjoy it in the sense that it's like I love the race scenes. I watched it in IMAX. So like, you know, getting to feel that was fantastic. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But one thing that did bother me about it so much was how often they crash in the movie. Like every race that they don't win, they crash. And I'm
They
like, you
crash
don't
the fucking car
you
and they
don't
talk.
need to do that every time to create
Then,
tension.
like, yeah, where does the tension go? I'm like, oh, and we crashed again. Oh, and we
Like
crashed
how
again.
many times, like you said, it's a life or death thing. Like there's not that many accidents. Like there's some accidents, but to see it happen that frequently over such a short period, it loses its impact.
Punch.
Yeah,
Exactly. And I kept like this racing team is already so far in the hole. They say like each car costs what, like $200,000?
yeah,
And Brad Pitt, didn't he crash the car on his test run?
yeah.
Like just to try out for the team? Also, can I just say that just like the like optics of the movie were just so bizarre too, where you have like Brad Pitt, this old white dude character with like the new up and comer black character in F1. And you have that scene after their first big race where they both crash because Sonny wouldn't listen to the team and let the other guy go. What's the other guy's name?
It's not Austin, is it?
I don't
No.
think so. I only remember Sonny because I was like, he's not Sonny at all. He's a storm cloud. I hate him. But because he defied the team and was like too big
Yeah,
of his head to like let this guy pass him, which sure, that sets up
Josh,
both
that's his
for
name.
his
Josh Pierce.
character.
Yeah.
Josh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I did. I just looked it up.
Oh,
Joshua Pierce. Yeah,
Josh? Really?
yeah.
That's such a
Josh
bland
Pierce.
name. That's why I didn't remember it. So, sure, like Sonny like blows up at him and is like, "Fine, this is you establishing his growth point where he needs to grow and like learn to allow this young guy to pass him." But he's like, in their argument, Josh is like, "They told you to let me pass and you didn't." He's like, "Oh, and let you win or let you get ahead of me? We call that a participation trophy." And I was like, really? Because I would call allowing a guy who hasn't been in the industry in over 2 decades, who crashed on his test run to race for your team, a bit of a participation trophy versus some guy who earned his spot here. And also just like, again, the optics of like, I looked it up afterwards because I was like, come on. There's
Yeah.
like one black person in F1 and maybe like for the history of F1. It's like,
Lewis Hamilton. Yeah.
oh, okay, that's Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, and we're gonna sit here and act like they're on the same footing here, but they
Yeah.
have to like overcome similar obstacles.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
interesting.
Okay. Love that. And the movie was so long. Carrie Condon, she's amazing. She's also in Train Dreams, Brett. You would know that if
Yeah,
you would have
she
stuck around and
is.
watched it.
She is in Train Dreams.
She was great, as she always is. I was so pissed off that she ended, like, why? Why? She's too good. She's too good for Sunny.
She is. I don't like the trend of older men being with like younger women that could do better. Like,
Yeah. Guys, we've learned about feminism. We're gonna have a woman in this movie, and you know what? She can think. So yeah, we know a thing or two about feminism. Women, they can be engineers. So thank you very much for that.
we are great.
Is she still gonna fall in love with our piece of shit lead? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, because that's what women do. So
Women love pieces of shit.
yeah,
God, yeah.
hello.
Are you ready for the next on
Yeah.
your list? Okay.
Next on
Well,
the list. Number 9,
number 9. 3, 2, 1. F1.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
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 Frankenstein.
Yeah. Frankenstein. Oh my God.
It was so popular.
We're just talking about people whose styles like right off the top. And again, we had this conversation like a couple months ago about this movie because I think we both watched it when it came out because we were
Yeah.
like, surely this is going to be like good, right?
Yeah.
And I just saw it coming so far in advance.
Yeah. It's just like becoming a formula. And back to the George Lucas thing of great visionary directors who are fantastic. It's not a slight to Guillermo's talent as a director, but like, God, I just wish that he would let someone else write his movies because he's got great ideas. Like I can
Yeah,
see the compelling elements, but unfortunately, like when I show up to a movie, I'm not here. Like I want to see characters. I don't want to see archetypes. Like
yeah,
your costume should not have more character than your character does.
exactly.
Is it visually stunning? Yeah, sure. That's what we've come to expect.
If it just looks good, then like there's a lot of movies that look good.
Yeah,
There's a lot of movies
like
that,
Train Dreams.
oh my God.
Beautiful
I'm
film.
not gonna let this go.
If it doesn't win for best cinematography, I'm quitting everything.
Okay, fair. But no, like yeah, it just there's so many. Again, I do like the design of Frankenstein.
I didn't
Or
even like the design of Frankenstein. He looked like fucking Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy. Where was the bruising? Where was the ooze? Like it I understand that they were going for like different patches of skin, but it looked like rubber. It
yeah,
like I was like these are been harvested from bodies from a battlefield. They should have more discoloration to them. Like he should look grotesque. If this is what we're going for, like these different pieces of skin patched together, I should be repulsed while looking at him.
but
That's what I wanted.
if you're repulsed, how is he gonna fall in love?
Yeah. How are the girlies gonna walk out of there and be like, oh my God, Jacob Elordi?
With like a little makeup on. Ooh.
Also, all right, you got an R rating, use it. Hang
Yes.
dong or get the fuck out of here. All
It's
right,
2020, the
in
big 25. You're not
2026.
hanging dong. I saw Dong in three movies last year, and you know what? They were some of my favorite movies of
Some
last
of
year.
your favorite movies. More movies should be hanging dong. All right. Like I'm just supposed to believe that Victor is this such a horrible, terrible man to see absolutely no use in this creation that he's made. But he's gonna have the decency to give him a little loincloth.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna chain him up in the basement in the sewer, but he's
but give
gonna
him
give
a
him a little
loincloth.
loincloth for his decency. For
Like,
why?
let
For
him
why?
hang. Let him hang.
Let it hang. Let it all hang out. We're battered over the head with like what a terrible father he is, and like, oh my gosh,
Oh
he's
my
repeating the
God.
same thing that his father did to him.
Yeah.
Oh, like lessons need to be learned, fathers. And like, oh, Mia Goth, she sees Adam once for like 30 seconds, and yet when she sees him later on as she's shot and with her dying breath is like, you've taught me how to love.
Yeah, that was a big eye roller for
Where?
me.
Huh?
I
How?
I
With
don't know.
what? Maybe if he hung dong, I would understand how he taught her how to love, but unfortunately did not. So I'm
Didn't happen.
confused.
There's no dong hangage. It just it. I don't know why. Like you said, there's an R rating. Use it because it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like you said without him looking grotesque either. Like I liked his design. I was expecting more from Guillermo del Toro,
Yeah.
but like where was that R rating used? Even like the scenes of violence. Like I feel like I saw more violence in like season 2 of Stranger Things, that's
Did you?
also on Netflix that has a 14 plus rating. Like,
Yeah.
I just,
Also, how is Frankenstein Superman?
I don't know.
He's a reanimated corpse. Like, how? Dynamite, like, if nothing, fine. If you want to be like, he cannot die, Dynamite should have blown all of his parts like apart. It should have been a
Yeah.
mouth and like an arm. And he's like, damn.
And I'm just scattered now, I guess, in my consciousness. How can he move an entire fucking ship out of the ice?
I don't know.
Where did he get this godly strength?
He has the strength of all the people that he's stitched together with. I
Even
so,
then,
yeah.
200 men cannot move a ship out of the ice, or I think those 200 men on the ship would have moved the ship out of the ice.
Again, visually, it's great. There's a lot like of wonderful visuals. I loved the ice scene was cool. I liked how it looked. It was visually stunning. But again, it just feels like there's not substance there. And it feels
exactly, but like prioritizing style over substance.
yeah, it feels more and more like, again, Guillermo del Toro is one of those directors that everyone respects so much that they don't really want to criticize him. But I feel like there's a lot to be critical of with this movie. And
Yeah.
there's a lot going on there that you really could just fix or improve or make better.
The brother looking up at Victor and being like, "You're the monster."
That fucking bullshit. Oh my god. I am so fucking tired of the like humans are the real monster thing. I watched Alien Earth recently,
Mhm.
and like the first half of that series is so good, and then it devolves into the same old like humans are the real monsters. It's like I just watched this alien rip like 30 innocent scientists in half. I'm pretty sure it's the monster. Like
Yeah.
it's such an unoriginal, un.
But
It's
I think like
uninspired.
it's something that has truth to it, but
Just
it's
saying it
been
out
done
loud.
so many times. Exactly. You can't just say it out loud. It's not a novel thing for you to be like, but guys, wait, have we considered
I
we
feel like
might
there's a
have
movie on
faults?
this list that does a better job with that
I
exact.
was just about to say, because there was another movie on the list where it is like humans are the problem that executes that idea so much better.
Obviously, I think we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But yeah, it just yeah, Frankenstein. It didn't blow me away, and
No,
I think we watched Nightmare Alley together a
we
couple years
did.
ago.
We
That was
did.
another one that got nominated for Best Picture, where I
And
was
I just
just
simply
we both
don't
were like,
understand how.
"What?" Yeah, it's one of those
I
things
get it
where
was another beautiful film, beautiful gowns.
what am I missing? What is everyone else seeing in this movie? And that's how I feel about Frankenstein.
I very much feel on the
Which I
outside of it
liked
all.
Guillermo's earlier work. Like I love Pan's Labyrinth. That's so good.
Dude, Pan's Labyrinth is genuinely a top 10 movie for me. It's
Yeah.
just one of the most gorgeous, heartbreaking, fantastical, like creative movies. And the violin theme from that film I still listen to, and it's just gorgeous. And yeah, I wish that we would go back to more of that.
It's one of those things too where as soon as that first scene plays, you just know how it's gonna play out. There's so much you can do with the horror of Frankenstein. And they just didn't want to touch on it at all for the same story that he told with Shape of Water, you know? Just with
Yeah,
different characters. Like it's you're saying the exact same thing, but with a different coat of paint.
this surprised me a little bit. I
Yeah,
exactly what you said. Once the movie started, I'm like, ah, so this is how this is gonna go. Okay. Like you can just
yeah,
see everything unravel like an accordion before
yeah,
you. And it's like, okay, well, I'm locked in for another 2 hours and 20 minutes. Let's
yeah.
see if they prove me wrong. And like I will say, like I do like the framing device. Like I think it is an interesting framing device to have like the first half of the story be told from Victor's point of view, and then like the second half of the story to be told from Adam's point of view. But again, it's just such clunky, ham-fisted, like there's was like no complexity to it. Like
Yeah.
bad father versus son who's not understood by his father, like who's hated by the father simply for not being what he expected him to be. And nothing like really beyond that. And like even like just the ham-fistedness of when he's like out in the woods on his own and the farmer guys see him in the woods from like 40 feet away and they're like, what is that thing? I'm like, you can't even, it's a man. You can't
Yeah.
see him from here. It looks
He
like a
doesn't
fucking
look like
man.
this. Yeah.
It would have been a much better show of like how people perceive and like judge and change how they treat people based upon like how like appearance and how they look and everything like that. To have them be like very friendly and be like, "Oh, sir, are you lost in the woods?" and blah blah blah. Like, come, we'll help you out. And then as
Yeah.
it gets closer, they're like, "Oh God, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And then turn on him, and it was just like just so knock you
Yeah.
over the head. There, I'm like, "Oh my God, I get it, I get it. We don't
Get it.
put the hammer down. We don't need it."
And we'll also like the scene or the character. What's his name? Who's he played by? Fuck. The guy who funds Frankenstein, who funds Victor.
Christoph Waltz, yeah, his
Yeah,
character.
like
You can see from a mile away. You're like, okay, so obviously he's got something going on that
yeah, like
he's trying to like
he
keep death
wants to be
with.
reanimated. Like how can you be this smart and not see exactly where this is going? Like how can you be smart enough to reanimate a corpse but not be smart enough to be like, this man's willing to give me unlimited money. I wonder what his demand is going to be in return. What? He wants to be immortal? What? Like, yeah, my guy.
I
Like,
did love how he was kind of like, sorry, body bad, no, can't do it. Did you consider having a better body? Did you
it's
consider not getting syphilis? I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have fucked all those broads.
yeah. It just I didn't care for that character because again, it's another like you said a thing where you're like, oh, we can all see exactly where this is going, but Victor's so just tunnel visioned that he can't. But even tunnel vision feels like too nice. Like it feels like that's giving him too much credit.
Like I should have seen him question things more.
Yeah, or just like be more into like the reanimating thing. Like
Yeah, it seemed so obvious what the goal was going to be when he's like reanimated the corpse and he's like, "You won't speak for me. You're useless." And it's like you've defied
you've
the laws
created life
like
essentially.
of the
Yeah.
universe. Him
You're picking
existing
up on it
is
so
enough.
fast. Yeah. It was so absurd to me. Like you spent your entire life doing this and you just even if you don't like the end product of the creature, this is a massive breakthrough. Like you brought someone back from the you brought multiple parts back from the dead. That's fucking insane. Why
Yeah.
are you not like, oh, this was a failure? Because if you would have done that, if you'd been like, this is a failure, I'm going to start again, then I feel like that would have been a better motivation than just like, oh, I failed at my goal. It's like saying you want to create a teleporter to go to Mars, and you're like, ugh, I've only made this thing that can teleport you halfway across the planet. What a failure!
I'm a
Like,
failure.
is it? It really doesn't seem like you are. Like,
It is. I haven't read Frankenstein, the source material, since high school, so
yeah,
I am quite foggy on it.
yeah,
But like from what I remember, obviously it's a huge plot point that Frankenstein abandons the creature, but from what I remember, it's more of like a kind of realization of like, oh my God, like
I've defied everything.
I like this crazy obsession that I've had has led me to all this like break this part of the life as we know it. What I've done here, like I've not even considered the implications. Like this is horrific. And it's almost like you have this feeling of like I actually did it. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Like the pursuit
yeah.
of the thing. It's like the idea of what is that turn of phrase? Like about like the dog, like what's like a dog
I was
chasing
gonna say,
after
yeah,
cars.
like Joe. I literally was thinking of that Joker
Like
thing.
what does the car do like, or what does the dog do like once it
The
actually
dog chasing the
catches the
car.
car? They're
What I would
like,
do if I actually got one, Batman. Like,
yeah, like I know I didn't think it through to this
but
point.
then
Like,
yeah,
I was
get the
just so
scar.
focused on the goal. And it's
Yeah,
like the horror of like, oh my God, what have I done? Like I've
yeah,
upset everything and like this is terrible. And it has like this implication of like when we bring like we do
yeah.
create life and everything and abandonment and stuff like that. Like I just think there was much more philosophical questions to bring up other than like bad dad.
Bad dad.
Bad
Dad
dad.
bad. That bad. That bad. Like, all right. It just felt like the lowest common denominator, kind of like.
Lowest hanging fruit that you could
Yeah,
have
it's
plucked
just like
from it
he's
all.
a bad father, and now he understands his son on his deathbed, and they die, and that's the thing. All right, bye. It's like,
Like,
yeah, it just felt like there were a lot more interesting avenues for that
yeah,
story. And
exactly. Number 7.
number 7, I gotta do the
Wait, no,
math.
wait, number
For
8.
me, it'll be number 7.
Number
I
8.
believe.
You can throw in Train Dreams whenever you like. I just couldn't have it be the final one when F1 was
Okay, we've
there.
done 10, 9, and that was 8. No,
No, no, we're on 8. We've only talked about position 10 and 9, Brett.
no. Oh wait, no, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because you
okay.
said Hamnet was number 10. You said
Sorry.
Hamnet was number 10, and then you said F1 was
Okay.
number 9. You said
Wait,
F1 was better than Hamnet.
I'll go ahead and just say I'll put Train Dreams at 8, so that way we can be on the same page going forward.
Okay.
I'll count you down. You give me your number 8. Okay.
Well, I feel kind of good now because I feel like I get to hurt you a little bit because I put Sentimental Value as number 8.
What?
There we go.
No.
There we go. Yeah, how's it feel, bitch?
No. Why? Oh. Okay. At number 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Oh.
think, as you were talking about Hamnet, a lot of the stuff that you were saying about Hamnet,
Really?
I was like, I can't say too much because that's how I feel about Sentimental Value. I don't think it's a bad film. I think it's a very competent film. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think the movies that I have ranked higher, I have a lot more issues with. The thing when the movie ended, I was like, and that was that. I don't really feel a whole lot. And
Really?
again, it's just not and I was really looking forward to it. So maybe I hyped it up too much in my head. And it's weird because out of all of the films, I like to make little notes in my notes app when I'm watching them. So obviously, like the movies that I saw in theaters, I have to try to do it, remember everything after the fact.
Yeah.
But that one, Sentimental Value, I watched at home, and that's all the notes that I have for this. Let me show you. F1.
Oh my god. You had some hate. You had some hate and energy, and I love it.
I sure did. I
Yeah.
did. And one of the notes is Elle's ass in these jeans. I gotta say, Elle Fanning, she got a dump truck on her.
Yep.
She got a dump truck on her. I love Elle Fanning. So again, I was like really pumped about this movie because I was like, oh, my girl's in it. And I thought she was great. And again, I thought that
the same age, right?
What?
Me and Elle Fanning are the same age.
Don't you say that. You take that back right now.
No, we're the same age, Autumn.
Shut the fuck up.
We're the same age.
I don't like for talented performers to be younger than me. That's not cool.
It's a weird thing. It's weird.
Very bizarre. And I'm having every year it gets worse because every year I get older.
Jacob Elordi and I are the same age too, Autumn.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh!
We're both 6'5". Yeah.
Oh no!
He's just the Australian, more
both
talented,
6'5".
more person.
Are you 6'5"?
Yes. I got measured by everyone at my job because they didn't believe it.
Shoes on or off?
Off. Shoes off. I'm
Okay.
6'5".
He's 6'5", everybody.
God.
And I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
That's what the men tell me. They're like, oh my God, you're such a tall lady. You have to be 6 foot because I'm 6 foot. And we're eye to eye. And I'm like, brother, do I have some news for you?
I guess I'll talk about it whenever we get to it on my list, but I understand your feeling on it.
I think I don't know.
Well, it's also like European movies in general, because I watched a few.
Tend to, excuse me, be a little bit more understated, which isn't. I do like. I'm a schlotzy, you know.
Yeah. I like
Gal.
things happening. Yes. But I think because it was in between, like, so I watched the movie kind of in between other ones, and I had, a fairly busy week. So seeing something that was a bit more slower and more methodical and more like you said, understated, I think worked again in its favor towards making me like it a lot more. So I do understand the feeling of like, I wish this would start going somewhere sooner.
And it's not even that I thought that it was poorly paced or anything. I thought events unfolded in a natural way. And it felt like very naturalistic and where we ended up and where it was leading us. But I think like I kind of at the end of it all, I just didn't necessarily care so much for the daughter who he wrote the script for.
Okay.
I thought that Agnes, I think that's the sister's name, was like so much more compelling. And I thought her relationship to her father was more interesting because we saw that, obviously she starred in this film as a child, and she talked about like that scene where she is talking to her sister, or is it Rachel? I think it's actually to Rachel. It's to Rachel's Elle Fanning, right?
Yes, Rachel's
Yeah,
Elle
yeah,
Fanning.
yeah.
Nora is the sister that is like the actress,
Right.
and then Agnes is the one that's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So the scene when Agnes is talking to Rachel, because Rachel's like, I don't think that this is for me. That is something that happens, right? Yeah, they have that whole
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do,
Making
yeah.
sure I didn't not making this up.
Yeah.
And she's, Rachel just wants to know whether or not she's like, is this my own fear getting in the way, or is there some validity to this? And Agnes is like, no, he makes you feel like you're the most important thing in the world because you are what's going to make this passion project of his like a reality. And it's about like the work. But then like once the work is done, then you're not as important to him.
Yeah.
And I thought that dynamic was a lot more interesting. I guess I just didn't understand why he was pursuing Nora ultimately, because that's what the film is ultimately about. And maybe it's because Nora reminded him of his mother, but I just didn't feel that connection as present there between the two of them to really understand why he wouldn't have written this movie for Agnes and her be like and be like, but like Nora's the actor, I'm not an actress anymore, and like have that kind of be the sticking point. I didn't quite connect with Nora's involvement in the story.
Well, I do think part of that though is because Agnes is a bit more willing to have sympathy and understanding for her father, whereas Nora, it's going to take more effort. I think that's kind of where that comes in, is he knows that if he tries in the way that he needs to with Agnes, she will accept him, but he doesn't feel that same security with Nora. And so hopefully by giving her this role, he can kind of jumpstart the creation of their, not the creation of their relationship, but kind of just jumpstart its rejuvenation and kind of create that connection that he missed out on creating for so long.
And keep going.
But yeah, like I mean, that's pretty much it. Just like Agnes is willing to forgive, and Agnes is willing to see she sees more of the trauma that he has experienced, especially in the house of watching his mother commit suicide at a very young age and watch his marriage dissolve in that house. And Agnes kind of sees a bit more of his lack of emotional intelligence and not really knowing kind of how to deal with them. And she's able to see that and sympathize with it in a way that Nora just kind of sees the actions and not the why of the actions, I think. So seeing that as the motivation for why he wrote it for Nora, not necessarily for Agnes, even though he does connect more with Agnes, that's the whole reason why he's writing it for Nora.
Well, thank you for that. And that makes total sense. I think too, it's an interesting thing as well for me watching, because I know that in this situation, I would be Agnes. But like weirdly, as a viewer of the movie, I'm like, fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve to connect with Nora again. He left. He should have been a better father. Trauma happens. It happens to all of us. Like, if you want to be there, like, you should have been there. And you can't, like, and if you want to be there again, you have to make more of an effort than just be like, I want you to be in this movie with me, like, for me. And I know that that's, but like, and I get that's what I'm supposed to be feeling. I know that, like, I'm supposed to have that feeling. And I guess, like, at the end of it all, it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And I didn't feel like the need to really, like, it didn't linger around with me. Like, once I watched it, I was like, well, I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Again, it's not that I think it's a bad movie. And I think it's a very well done movie, and I can't cite any real critique of it. It just wasn't for me.
It didn't hit you. Yeah,
It didn't hit
fair.
me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7. No, my number 7 we already talked about. It's Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Your number 7?
You know what? I have it listed, but I think I'm going to change it, actually. Yeah.
Really?
I think I'm going to put fuck. These next 3 are very like I don't know, it just really as of now it depends on the moment you catch me of where I think of them. Fuck. Damn, this is why I don't like ranking. This is why I don't like ranking shit.
I love ranking. I love it.
I hate this. I know
Right.
they all have different. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm gonna say Marty Supreme.
Ooh, at number 7. Wow. Okay.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna break it down into 2.
Okay.
These next 2 are like they could go either way.
So 6 and 7 on
6
you.
and 7.
Okay.
It could be One Battle After Another or Marty Supreme.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. I disagree. Okay. I understand the Marty Supreme rank. I disagree greatly with the One Battle After Another.
Okay.
I'm
gonna keep since in the moment I was like, I'm gonna put Marty Supreme down 1. I'm gonna keep Marty Supreme at number 7. I think I enjoyed Marty Supreme more than I did One Battle After Another. Well, no, actually, here's the thing. I have issues with both movies. I think One Battle After Another so much more consistent. I think it's very well paced. I think it's a very well paced movie. I think it moves along exactly how it needs to. It does not feel like 2 hours and 42 minutes. So I think that's obviously like why I'm putting it above Marty Supreme, because Marty Supreme, the highs in Marty Supreme are so high. I was so on board. I loved like the first act, the whole him starting off from New York and like in the shoe shop and then fucking in the like in the back room. Okay, we can't wait till we clock out. We need it now. Fine. Going to London and like schmoozing up Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband and like being just such a dick bag and a douchebag. I loved it. And as I said earlier, who knew that you could make table tennis feel so vital to the human experience? Like, I was watching it and I'm sitting there in the Dolby Cinema thinking, like, this is scope. You don't need like a Civil War reenactment or like constant action or cars like crashing into each other to like experience huge scope. That shot of the tournament before the World Tournament, the championship in London, there's that overhead shot of like 50 tables going at once. I was just like, how the fuck do you coordinate that? And then that like slow zoom in through 20 different tables of ping pong, then into Marty and whoever he's facing off against. Just
Yeah.
stunning work. Like, when this movie hits, it fucking hits. Then we come back to New York. And we're doing motherfucking Mad Lib theater for the next hour of the movie. And I'm just exhausted. When the movie's about table tennis, I really enjoy it.
You don't like all the like in between?
No. And it just felt like bullshit. It felt like Uncut Gems Part 2. What you were saying with Chloe Zhao, I was like, this is exactly how I felt watching this movie. I'm like, this is like copy paste the same thing that we were doing before, like in another movie. Like, oh, we're just gonna keep building the stress and having like this new ridiculous situation. Like, oh, Marty's arrested. He's running from the cops. Now he's got to get in a hotel. Now, oh, and he took a bath in the hotel, and the bath fell through the floor, and now he broke the guy's arm and the dog. He got to take the dog to the vet, but he's not gonna do that. He's gonna go hustle pool, but now we gotta go get gas, and the guys at the hustle pool are gonna come out, and they're gonna have a gas fight, and it's Zoolander all over again, and we're gonna crash into a telephone pole, and there was an electricity fire, and the dog runs away, and now we gotta get the dog back, and the farmer, and we're gonna go into the house, and the farmer shoots his gun, and we come back, and actually the dog guy's actually a mobster, and the wife, and she's pregnant. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? And she faking her abuse and everything. He comes and he bashes him with a trophy, and then we go and he stays in his buddy's house, his rich buddy's house, and then we're yelling in the rich buddy's house, and his parents are like, "You can't be here. What are you guys doing here?" And then they're like, "Okay, we gotta get this dog. We gotta pretend that we have this dog." But then he calls his bluff. The mobster calls his bluff, and now he's got baby mama in the trunk. Baby mama's in the trunk. Now they go to the house to get the house. We look in the window. Oh, what's gonna happen when you look in the window? Do we think the guy's gonna get shot? Or the guy gets shot when he looks in the window? Yeah. Who saw that coming? Me. Oh my god. Like, it's just, oh.
See? Okay, I think that's where we disagree. I love movies that can stress you out. And I do like it. I like things get worse. I like when things
where is this leading us?
Worse.
Why are they getting worse?
Because they just have to. Because he is a dickbag. He's a douchebag.
They don't have to. Like, I can get that. They could have cut 45 minutes out of this movie.
You think?
I wholeheartedly believe we could have, like, sure, have a couple of these hijinks, have a couple of this, like, good stuff. After, like, minute 30 of just Tom and Jerry hitting the wall again, Wile E. Coyote running off the cliff, I was like, all right, I'm tired of the cartoons. We got to get back to like what the story's about.
Which is tennis, table tennis, We got to get back to that. Got to get back to ping pong.
It's like, I understand. This guy is determined to make it to Tokyo?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Like, I get that. We didn't need all of this extra faffing about. We didn't need all of this. Like, I get it. He will throw anyone and everyone under the bus to like achieve his dream.
But you didn't need all that.
I didn't need all that. So you say you love what?
I really liked all that. It's my thing. Like,
it just felt like, and then this happened, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens.
I do think it could have cut like 15 minutes out. I think, like you said, it was 45 minutes of like things go wrong. I think it could have been 30, and it would have been a much smoother. Can I go through? Because I feel like in Uncut Gems,
I'll give you 20.
In Uncut Gems, I feel like they do a better job of pacing it and making it a bit more logical.
Yes.
And
you have like moments where you see Adam Sandler like talking to people and like strategizing and figuring out his next move. Whereas this just felt like, and suddenly a building's going to fall over on top of all of them. Why? Yeah. Just because.
I feel that, but I feel like my, not necessarily like attention span, but my enjoyment of that type of stress it's at a higher like tolerance level than I feel most people. Because other people that I've talk to that have watched the movie feel the same way you do, where they're like, things just keep going wrong and they keep getting worse for, again, like the entirety of Act Two is just like insanity. And to me, that's like very entertaining. I like seeing that, but I do understand how at times it could be exhausting. Like there's only so long it can be exciting for most people. But yeah, I understand your point of like, this could have wrapped up sooner. Because yeah, it could have. I think honestly like 10 minutes could have been condensed, shortened. There could have been something less. Because even at the end, like I was myself like, okay.
Like, I feel similarly to how we were talking about F1, where, like, if you keep showing us the car crashing, it starts to lose its impact. Like, I was like, and Marty has made it out of yet another situation somehow. Like, just out of sheer luck and wherewithal. I'm like, how many more times am I going to see this before it becomes a revelation again? And it just never circled back around to being a revelation again until we make it to Tokyo and he's like humiliated and he like does, go through with it all. And I'm like, there, fine. This is what I want to see. And I think like to your point about stressful, did you watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's a movie that like the entire film, like an hour and a half, the entire time. It's just
just like
building and building and building and building and building and building tension. But I think how Mary Bernstein in that movie built, like, because we start small and we build and we build and we build to where like eventually once we get to the point where she's running into the ocean, I'm like, yeah, that's where we're riding the wave to where that's where this was going to take us. Whereas with Marty Supreme, it was like we're on a roller coaster. We're going up and then the falling action. We're going up. And it's like at some point you start to lose the centrifugal motion and you're just like, at least for me.
Yeah, and you're just like,
like I can't go up again. Like,
yeah.
like you've maxed me out. So but again, the first act and the third act,
you loved.
I loved like the complicated feelings because I'm watching him in Tokyo, and I'm honestly like, I've been riding around with this crazy little guy, this crazy little mongoose, this whole movie. He's so batshit crazy determined to win and prove he's the best out there. That like I gotta like respect that sheer level of hustle and dedication because I do not have such a singular focus. And even if you are the most despicable douchebag, self-centered, whatever.
Yeah.
I have to admire it just a little bit that you have such a singular focus to be the best at this thing. So like I want him to win, but also I'm like, this guy sucks. I don't want him to win. I want Indo to win. I think, isn't it Kodo Indo or something? I know it's Indo because I was like, Indo? Hey.
Again, it does a great job of making you hate him.
Yeah. I'm watching the thing and like with every point, no matter who scores the point, I'm like, no. Yeah, because you like loved that.
It's that weird dichotomy of like you said, you admire the focus to win. You admire his ability to commit to a singular goal no matter the cost. But you also hate that he does that. So you're like, I don't want you to win, but I don't want to.
I'm like, you shouldn't.
I don't want you to lose.
You shouldn't succeed.
I don't want this to be for nothing. Like, if you're going to be such a shithole, I at least want it to pay off. You know?
Yeah. For me, just for my if I'm going to put a couple of bucks in the gambling pool, I want to win at least 10.
Exactly.
So
I don't have to win the jackpot. I just want to win something, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sure, he goes home. He sees his baby. He cries.
I feel like the ending is kind of it's a bit more melancholy for him. Because I feel like he's not the kind of guy that's going to be satisfied with this life. So it
No.
feels like, yeah, it feels like him crying is less him being happy with the child, but more like
Well, I feel like
he's trying to accept his new reality, but he doesn't know if he can. That's what it felt like
it's
for me.
almost, it gives me like that, again, the two faces, type of
Yeah,
thing. Like that dichotomy of feeling of, I'm like,
yeah.
of course he would see this baby and cry and feel pride and be like, I made
I
that
mean,
happen. That's my baby.
but you're
That's
also like, I don't think he's
but
going to stick around.
exactly, I have no faith that he will stick around whatsoever. I have no faith. This is not going to make him happy. But it is. He's like, this kid's going to grow up and like detest Marty.
Yeah.
And Marty's going to be like, you don't even understand. I'm a great father.
I do so much for you. I battled Coda Indo. You have
Yeah.
no idea. Gwyneth Paltrow. I dealt with Kevin O'Leary. You have no idea. The toll that takes on a human being. It's not an accurate Timothy Chalamet at
At
all.
all. But that doesn't matter. I will
Yeah.
say, I love Timmy Tim. I love Timmy Tim. No one's going to make me hate him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be.
I thought
I'm
he
not
was
going
great.
to.
I thought he did a great job in the movie. Rachel, she's so over
She's so
Timothy
contrarian.
Chalamet.
Her and Ethan both are so contrarian in different ways. Ethan, I feel like, is more contrarian to be a
Just to
troll.
get a rise out of
He's just
you.
let it internalize for so long that he like started believing some of the stuff he says.
Yeah.
Whereas Rachel, I just feel like it's rooted in reason. It's just the wrong reason. I feel.
But like, I can't say it's the wrong reason. Sure, if she finds Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
fatiguing, then fine. I don't.
Whatever. Yeah. All right. Number six.
We're on
So for
number
you,
six.
number six was one battle after another, which
Yes.
I disagree with.
Okay.
Number six for me, um, Sinners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first for
You
your?
go first. I'm curious. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've talked about it a little bit before. I know I talked about it with Rachel. I liked a lot of the elements of Sinners. I think
Yes.
as far as it goes in terms of creativity, I think it's the most creative of the nominees. Not by a lot. I think there's one movie that does kind of challenge it, but I do like a lot of the aesthetics. They're very unique. I really like the setting. I think just a Mississippi movie is so it's so rare. Like something that is true South, something that's truly
True
Southern
South, True
is
Delta. In this time period, sharecroppers exploring Black
yeah,
culture.
like it is such a time capsule. And I think my biggest issue with this movie is the same issue that everyone has, is that the production moved very fast. And some of the elements of the film don't necessarily blend together super well. The transition from slow burn horror movie to, or really just like getting the juke joint started and then transitioning that into a
Into
vampire
a
movie. And then from like, again, this slow burn kind of like slow escalation of like Remick coming in and like slowly turning people and everyone kind of like getting this very surrealistic vibe to them, and Mary coming back in and like turning she turned smoke, right?
Oh, I thought it was Stack. I wrote it down. Okay, Stack. Stack is the one who is a vampire. Stack is the one
Yeah.
who's a vampire.
Okay. So like seeing Stack kind of turn is interesting, but also I feel like I don't know, it should have been more like similar to Lost Boys, where he gets turned into a vampire but isn't like willing to kill his brother, and that creates kind of tension between him and Remick. Them being a hive mind but also keeping their personalities is like it's an interesting idea,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was given time to be fully explored. And then the ending of them all just like running out of the barn into the sunlight was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but just sudden. I think bringing back Stack and Mary as like the vampires and like helping them like be in the shadows and then like take them out. I think that would have been a lot cooler, and that would have been a much better kind of like.
I will say, because both times through, I just don't understand why Mary and Stack just like run out of there.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're in. They got invited in. Like, they're there. Why are they not like doing the work from the inside?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think I agree with like a lot of what you were saying. I still have it ranked pretty high though, just for the fact of like, out of all of the movies that like are on this list this year, it did just present something so original that I've just not seen before, and I think that should really be lauded. So my two like big issues with the movie, I'm so irritated that the first thing we knew about this movie was Ryan Coogler set to direct a vampire film in the Mississippi Delta. That should have been a surprise. That should have been tight-lipped, because the whole first half of the movie builds to where it's exactly like you were saying. It is not a horror build. It's about like this historical drama about these two brothers who've made it out of, sharecropper Mississippi Delta, made a life for themselves in the gangs of Chicago, but they've messed around with too much up there, and they've got to come back home. But they've learned some things up there, and they're gonna rejuvenate this like town, have their own spot, make this whole juke joint. So like, had I gone into it like thinking it was about this story, and then halfway through, all of a sudden, it's about fucking vampires? Like, exactly, like, it's like the Dusk Till Dawn setup, but they gave it away from like the very first, and I don't understand. I don't understand why we gave that away so soon, and it's in the trailers, so it's not even like, oh fuck, like that got out, but we don't want that to be like, and even forget about From Dusk Till Dawn. Just this year, we had another horror movie that did a great job with this, with Weapons, where like the marketing for that, I think it was brilliant, because I had no idea what it was about, but I was intrigued.
Yeah.
And my surprise watching it unfold and coming to realize, oh my God, this is a witch story?
Yeah.
Was awesome. And then having that shift to where all of a sudden, like, we go from like this genuine, strange, supernatural horror to like a kind of like comic horror was so awesome. And I loved it. And it was, but what makes that like really hit is the unexpected tone shift. And I wish we could have gotten that with Sinners, to not know ahead of time that this was going to be a vampire film. But like, that's a moot point. We knew that was coming. Whatever.
I will say, just you mentioned trailers. I think in terms of like trailer to movie quality this year, Sinners is one of the biggest disparities. I did not like the trailer for it at all, and it made it look just so run-of-the-mill, like,
I'm trying to
not
remember
good.
what the trailer was. I do remember they had Mary's line of like, we're gonna kill every last one of you, or whatever.
And that's another thing. It's like supposed to be like, she doesn't get turned until like halfway, right? Like, she's not.
Like they gave that
The whole
away.
time I knew like, oh, she's gonna get turned at some point, and then when it happened, I was like, all right, there it is. And there's also the line of like, he's not your brother, so what the heck, Like, I know that this is coming. I know that one of the brothers is gonna get turned from Michael B. Jordan, because I can't remember her name, but she says it to him like, that's not your brother. And then when I was like, oh, they're both brothers. So Mary and stack are going to get turned. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like if they give that away in the trailer, you think, oh, well, that's something we're going to find out soon, like, yeah, quick, or it's going to be something that we're going to come to expect because there's so many other unexpected things happening. So I think that like the marketing and just how this movie was discussed beforehand, which is not necessarily the fault of Ryan Coogler or the creative team, just it's the fucking studio's fault, was disappointing. Regardless, like I think it's a very entertaining movie. My other like second biggest issue was just we have this like incredible story element of like music being the thing that invites haints and spirits and ancestors from all marks of time. And I love, oh my God, the scene where Sammy's playing in the juke joint. And we're not only going from like the past, but also to the future.
Yeah.
Was so fucking cool. Like I expected them to, with the intro and everything to reflect back to the past and like have those little bits of the past. But like to have this kind of, circular idea of time of like, no, but it's also jumping forward as well as jumping backwards. I thought was so cool and so innovative. And just how they shot that was like really spectacular. And having this idea of like, it can like how much music can bring people together so much that it brings maybe some unwelcome spirits to the party, as we see. Yeah. And so I thought the natural progression of the movie would be ultimately that what defeats Remick and the vampires would be the thing that called them. Like I thought it was going to be a Devil Went Down to Georgia situation where we like have a music battle instead of just like a fight in the sun. Like I thought that's where we were headed thematically, because again too with his dad being a preacher and being like, I think like with our upbringing too, like we very much understand like the idea of secular music being a thing of the devil and like, stay away from that. So I was waiting for the movie to like, it made that point of like, secular music, like bringing around the devil, but also like, it's just like music is like brings about everything, It touches the core of like a person's soul, dead or undead. So it can also like, it'll bring about the devil, but maybe it'll bring about like this amazing thing within yourself too, to defeat the devil. Yeah. So I kept waiting for like that to be the through line of like how music can
save.
Can save. Exactly. It can be such an expression. And, even like there's that line of like that Remick has where, he's talking about, I get like, we'll like, take your culture and like we'll share and like all be one and like a utopia. There's plenty of articles and everything, talking about like the like racial elements and everything of like the vampires in this movie and stuff like that. Lots of compelling different point of views, but also just like how, okay, yeah, with that, but like the music that I can come up with that Sammy himself could make.
Yeah.
Cannot be taken. Like, and it can overpower, like it can defeat,
Yeah.
And I just thought that's where we were going, and that's not where we ended up. And I thought that was just like such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think, again, like I said, just for the newness and the freshness and like excitement of having such like a unique story. And yeah, I just fucking love like the heat.
Yes.
Like the Mississippi Delta, or like in just anywhere, like of like the South, you feel it through the movie.
Yeah.
It's very much like present in there, and I eat that shit up.
Yes.
I eat it up with 2 spoons in each hand, baby. Like,
but no, yeah, like every shot is just, it feels like it's in the South. Like it feels like even because I was living in Vegas at the time already, like it's so difficult to capture that particular vibe without coming across as, so many people
very one-dimensional.
Yeah, so many people look down on it as like the South, whereas this movie felt a lot more like it's such a different place.
It is a very different place than what we're used to seeing on screen. It's not something that gets explored very often, seeing Black culture, Black community within the Deep South at this time period. And if it, we do see it, it's all entirely about like Jim Crow and Black struggle.
Yeah.
And so it's very refreshing and rejuvenating to have a story that obviously that those elements are still very much present and very much there. It's not, we can't like live in a fantasy and pretend that it wasn't, but for the story not to revolve around that, it to be about, again, the culture, a day in the life of these characters that are not seen, at least to this exposure level, this blockbustery level. And then on top of it all, for it to be this fun vampire flick too.
Yes. So that was so unique. And also Remick's eyes. I really liked the eyes a lot.
Dude, the fucking vampire eyes. I watched this whole special effects behind the scenes video about how they made those. Because, I mean, obviously, so it's no question that my favorite show is Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
And a big thing that they talk about all the time is the contacts and how they're like half blind wearing the contacts because, I mean, it doesn't allow for your retina to grow in size and it accept light in, and that's crucial to being able to like, depth perception and all that. But the actors were talking about these contacts and how, and yet you see like it covers the retina. So they're like, we are blind, just blind wearing these, but to such great effect. It looks so cool. And it's like so, I don't want to say simple because that makes it seem, because it is ingenious. This is like so revolutionary technology. Like this one, I think it was a woman, the makeup artist or whoever, like prosthetist, whoever came up with the contacts. Like she'd been working on, and like the head of special effects, like had heard about this and was like, hey, we want to kind of like, this is the first time this is seen and being used on film, which is so cool. And yeah, it just looked amazing. And I love how they did the teeth too, because the teeth are just so crucial because so many vampire movies go overboard and do stupid things to where it just looks goony and goofy and ridiculous. And it really looked like creatures, but still, it's me, your brother Stack. It's me, Mary, who you've known since childbirth. It's me, Cornbread. Like, whoever else, Yeah. Yeah, I thought the special effects, the makeup, all of that was so well done.
A very small thing. You mentioned kind of like the cultural implications of Remick. Like, I like that he wasn't like a traditionally kind of like one note villain. Like,
no, like
I was expecting him to be like racist. Like, okay. He's a white guy trying to turn, Black people into vampires. Like, okay. But, like, I liked that he was unique. Like, he didn't feel, like, hateful. Like you said, it didn't feel like... It felt like he was creating utopia in, like, a weird way. But I felt like he was so much more complex than, like, any other, like, villain I've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even, like, I was reading... this interview with Ryan Coogler from NPR about this movie. And, he was talking about Remick, and even he wasn't necessarily like, yeah, Remick's a bad guy. He was kind of more focused on just wanting to make this vampire horror movie within like the Mississippi Delta. And he's like, all of these other things, I'm going to let the audience decipher and pick out and decide what it means to them. And he was talking about how, the Irish experience, with Remick coming of like Irish descent within America too, obviously it can't be compared to the African American experience like in any way, but like there's an identifiable like struggle between the two of them, like where they can see that they're not they're both like on these outer sides of like the genteel Southern belle gentleman Southern culture of the time, And like, and just so how it's like he's like calling out to that kind of shared experience between the two, using that to be like, we're all of the same ilk, you know?
Yeah.
We all dance to the music, and maybe with different steps, but we all dance, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought he was a very fascinating character. I thought like all the characters, the Chinese characters in the movie, again, like seeing Chinese characters, just period,
Yeah.
doesn't generally happen within like American movies and stuff, but also like their role within the American South at this time. And seeing them, the Rose, is the wife's name Rose, I think, maybe?
I gotta look it up now.
Gotta look it up. But yeah, how like that each like their accents differ depending on like what sides of the street that they work on. You know, like Rose has more of like the more like white Southern accent, whereas Bo has more of the
and it's Grace. It's Grace. Yeah.
Where the fuck did I get Rose?
Rose is their kid, I believe.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm getting Rose.
That Remick is like, okay, if you don't let us in, I'll go get Rose, and she's like, well, come on in.
Yeah. Perfect impression. But yeah, like even that, I've just never seen. I'm sure maybe it's been done before. I've not seen it. And I think for those like reasons of like newness and ingenuity, I've ranked it higher on my list.
Which again, very fair. Like I loved its creativity, but yeah, just for me, just didn't blend its elements as well as I thought it could have. But loved a lot about it. Your number 6, one battle after another.
Yes. So
okay.
I will say, I think that this was, I think it was a great movie. I think it was a well done movie. I think it was paced out well. I just like, I thought Tiana Taylor was magnetic, incredible performance. I walked away feeling very icky about how sexualized she was. And I couldn't quite put my finger on why. So afterwards, I specifically sought out reviews by like Black critics. And I found this one where she was talking about like, it's just validating the idea of like the Jezebel stereotype. And I didn't see what it served to the movie other than to like, it just felt very fetishizing. And that just didn't sit very well with me. And I do get like the point of the movie of like examining Leo DiCaprio's character and then Sean Penn's character, obviously, and like kind of an indictment of like white men on either side of the spectrum, their failings, you know, within making the world a better place, you know, with obviously Sean Penn's is not hard to find, just terrible racist, the far right example of it all. And then like, you know, on the far left revolutionary side of like complacency and how that can do as much harm, you know, within trying to like keep a revolution alive and everything. So I understand that perspective, but it just kind of seemed like we had these so many tertiary Black women characters who were really fucking awesome that it's like, why didn't we have a movie about them? Like Willa was fucking amazing. The whole like the nunnery of like Black weed growing nuns, like where's their movie? You know, I just kind of I thought that it was a very well done movie. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was really entertaining. I think it's a very funny movie. The score drove me fucking crazy, I will say. Bling 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 bling.
Yeah.
Bling, bling,
Loved it.
bling. I hated it.
Okay.
It went on for like 20 minutes and I was like, it's like a car alarm going on in the background. Oh, I can't focus on anything else. And I understand the effect. I understand what they were going for. For me, it did not work, but I know why other people were like, the score's amazing. It's so effective. I get it. It just, for me,
Okay.
I couldn't.
I love this score. Okay. I would like to kind of jump into what you mentioned because I feel like while you felt kind of the ick from that, I do see her sexuality as playing a part in the story. And also, it's reflected in Bob's character, where when Will's growing up, he's scared to kind of tell Willa what her mother was like actually like and how she did sell out a lot of her fellow comrades for, her own personal gain. Lockjaw is terrible because obviously he's racist, he's a white supremacist, he's anti-immigration, he's the worst. He's the worst.
And he's played to such creepy effect by
And
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn does a great job because Sean Penn's a creep.
Yeah.
Not the
Great
way
casting.
yeah.
Honestly.
Plus.
And I will say, like, Leo is, I think, the best when he can, like, do something that's really absurd and ridiculous. Like, it kind of reminded me, in a way, of him in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like, where it has that, like, kind of comedic element to it. Like, he's a very funny actor, but at playing that humor so straight to the point that, like, that's where the comedy lies. Yeah, I think it's, like I said, a very well done movie. And Willa, I fucking love Willa. I thought she was so, because you can see how she's not just like badass little girl who's like, I gotta answer for everything, and like, you can put a gun in my face and I don't care. Like, you can see the fear. You can see, she reacts like a normal person, but then she has this not normal training from her not normal father. And you see like those like gears turning in her brain and her being like, okay, this is like the crazy paranoid shit that my dad told me might happen, and it's actually happening. So like, what do I need to do to get out of the situation? And oh my God, I will say, like, that final, the car chase up and down and dipping in and out, like, talk about a roller coaster. Brilliant. And her, like, when she stops the car, like, I just thought she's just stopping the car and he's like going to go past her and then she's going to turn around. I was like, but he caught up to her once. Like, he's going to catch up to her again. No, she's just like watching that whole thing unfold. And like, even when, Bob's character comes out and he's like, hey, it's me. And like, that she doesn't immediately drop the gun. Yeah. Because she's just been through so much and she's so traumatized by everything. Like, she just killed a man. Yeah. And she's like, I can't trust, like, all the worst things that I've been told could happen in my life have happened. So you need to tell me the fucking code words right now. Or I might have to shoot my dad. Over. Yeah, I thought she was awesome.
Like I said, I do like how well she's written and how, again, she's not instantly a badass. She has fear, she has doubt, she has struggle, but like you said, she has that training of just watching it kick in and watching her be creative and find a solution. It's so satisfying to see that, like, young mind kind of like everything click and everything kind of go. It's so great. It's great writing to see, again, her come up with a unique solution that her dad probably wouldn't have come up with, that someone else probably wouldn't have come up with, but she found a way to play to her strengths. It's a wonderful thing to see.
And then, like, ending the movie off with her, going out the door and starting it all off again,
It is great. I just loved it. I was expecting it to be overhyped. I have not been the biggest fan of Paul Thomas Anderson throughout his career, so when everyone was hyping this up when it came out, I was behind. I waited 2 weeks to go see it in theaters. I just did not think that it was going to be all that. and then I was just blown away by it. It's so. You said Train Dreams might win Best Cinematography, and you'd be upset if it didn't. My vote's for this right now. I
Because you
love.
haven't watched Train Dreams.
I love this movie. I think it was just so well done, and you've seen kind of the ick side of things when it comes to Teyana Taylor's character, whereas I've also seen, like, on my side of both the internet and my friends, like, black women should be allowed to be villains. Like, they should be allowed to be selfish and be.
Yeah, I do very much agree with that, and it's not even the fact that she was sexualized. I'm like, the level to which she was just, they can't even run away from a bomb without her wanting to like fuck before they've made it to the car, like into safety. That I was like, all right, like okay, what is this about? And it just, it felt gross to me. Like at first I was like, hell yeah, like she's super sexy, she's badass, like she's leading this up, and but then as it just continued on, I was like, okay, oh my god, like I said, it dipped into the over the line into like fetishism for me, but
Okay.
that's just my interpretation. So I think that's like why it got lower ranking. What was like for that, and also just kind of, I'm like, two things can be true. I think the story that was told was very, very good, very compelling. I think these other background stories that could have been told would have been even more compelling. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like you said, it's perfectly paced. Where you mentioned that earlier, where like it's too. I think the
I think
substance.
it's, let's see, it's the longest movie. It is the longest movie out of all of the movies on here, and it does not feel like it.
Well, like I said, the substance last year was like that. Where when I first saw those 2 hours and 42 minutes, because I think it's like the exact same runtime as this is.
The Substance is 2 hours and 42 minutes?
I mean, it's a lot longer than you would think it would be. Let me look it up real quick so I can get you the actual 2 hours and 32 minutes. Wow. So it's, but it's, so not the same length, but it's still like.
Yeah, not that far off. Yeah.
Yeah, going into it, you're like, that's a crazy long time. But then, like, actually watching it, you're like, oh.
Yeah, honestly, like, going into this, I was like, let's put our seatbelt on. Let's see.
Then just.
It's really funny, too, because one of the notes I put in F1, I was like, you're going to put a title drop at minute 13. Figure out your introduction, or like don't have the title drop at all. You know, either have it at 5 minutes or not at all. Okay, this movie has it at minute 13 as well. Like, I paused and I was like, it is also at minute 13 when the title drop. But it works because this movie is better paced, so it doesn't like, by the time the title drops in F1, I felt like an hour had already passed.
Yeah.
And I was like, and we're putting the title in now? Whereas with One Battle After Another, I was like, oh, it's only been 5 minutes. And I paused because I was like, you see, this is the point that I was making with F1. And then I looked at the run and I was like, oh, we're 13 minutes in. But it's the difference that 13 minutes makes. It's what they do with that 13 minutes that like changes it all. The next movie that I have ranked higher, I enjoyed less. But like similarly to Sinners, it was just like something that I personally have not been exposed to so much that I'm like, that I ranked it higher because I think One Battle After Another was more enjoyable for me to watch. But I've kind of seen the movie before. Like I've seen versions of this movie before, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas number 5.
Number 5.
For me, I've ranked The Secret Agent.
Oh, okay. Number 5 for me was Marty Supreme.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
The Secret Agent. I am surprised that this is your number 5. I like this so much. Obviously, it's in the top 4 for me.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to, and it is a mess. Like, I mean that as lovingly as possible. This movie is a fucking mess.
But intentional.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
intentional.
It feels there's an album that I really love called Daughter, or called You Won't Get What You Want by Daughters.
Okay.
It's a very amelodic, very noise heavy, just it's like a horror metal album. And it's so dysfunctional and so disorienting, but you can tell how intentional and how well built it is and how it's designed to be that way. It's designed to come across as disorganized and jumbled and confusing and again amelodic, but at the same time incredibly coherent in the story that it's trying to tell. That's very much what I felt like. This is to me the movie equivalent of that album.
Yeah.
It's even though it's not a horror movie, it's still like a thriller, and it's still, like you said, so intentionally messy and so intentionally confusing in such a unique and just fascinating way, where
Yeah.
I have watched it twice. Like, it's the only movie on this list that I've watched twice, and I'm probably
Wow.
gonna watch it the third time because I was just
Wow.
the second time I watched it, I came away with something different than I did the first time I watched it, and I feel like I'll see something different the third time. Like, it's just it caught me so off guard because I was originally interested just because it has Wagner Moura in it, who I
Yeah.
loved in Civil War, um,
From
and
what?
then yeah, it just blew me away.
Who you loved from what?
Civil War. He's the main journalist alongside Kirsten Dunst in Civil War. Yeah.
Why did I think you were talking about the Marvel movie?
Like, he's not Captain America. He's
Who
not
the fuck
Spider-Man.
is he
He's
in
not
Civil
Iron
War?
Man. Like, what?
And this is the point in this video that I'm going to point Rachel to be like, Brett does know more about movies than I do.
But no, okay. I wanna hear kind of your initial thoughts on it.
So I like agree with a lot of what you said, and I think this is where me being out of practice with watching movies more regularly has bit me in the butt, because I feel like if I'd seen this when I was in college, when I was like watching a lot of like weird movies and like new movies and movies from different countries with like different cultures and stuff like that, in formulas that I'm not used to, I would appreciate it more. Like, one of my notes was, I feel like at this point in time, this movie was a bit too avant-garde for me, but I appreciate what it's doing. I'm trying to get back. This is why I'm trying to get back into,
Really?
like riding the bike again. Like, sure, you never
Yeah.
forget how to ride a bike, but that doesn't mean that you can ride a bike up a hill for 3 miles and be okay. Like, it's
Yeah.
still going to take some training. You're still going to feel it in your cooch the next day when you've not been on it for a while. So it's one of those movies where I was like, I feel like if I were to watch this again at this time next year, if I like keep this up and try to like keep watching more and more movies and like growing this like visual and storytelling expression again within my mind, that I'll come to appreciate it a lot more. And I already did. I mean, it's number 5 for me
Yeah.
in this list because it was just so different. Like, similar to Sinners, I didn't walk away from it with as much enjoyment as I got from Sinners, but it was just so not what I'm used to watching.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I could have gotten this film from another director, you know?
Yes,
So-
I feel like where Sinners was like thematically, and I don't want to say superficially, that sounds harsh, but just like visually very creative in its storytelling and its story in general. I feel like The Secret Agent was the most creative in terms of how it tells that story.
Very much so. And it's even, I think even now, so this was the last movie. I watched this last night.
Oh, so it's like
this
very
is it's very fresh, and it's the movie I've had the least amount of time to sit with. And I think if you would have asked me to rank this, in another week or 2 weeks' time, maybe it would be at a different position on this list. Because even like, I feel like my rankings as of last night versus today were different. I mean, as we saw earlier, but the more I've sat with it, the more I'm kind of like, yeah, like I am picking up what it was putting down. It just like took me, it's taken me a bit to get on its wavelength,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought it was a very interesting movie. I didn't really know what it was about, like for a lot of it, and it kind of honestly, it kind of reminded me, of this movie that I watched, in November called Sorcerer. It's directed by William Friedkin, who directed The French Connection, The Exorcist. And it's a similar kind of setup to where it takes you a while to figure out what the movie's about. And then once you're finally there, you're like, oh, okay. And, which if you haven't watched Sorcerer, you should watch Sorcerer. Because it's a slow burn. But once it starts burning, baby, it's burning. It's a disco inferno.
Sorcerer. Okay.
Yeah. Talk about stress. Oh, Brett, stress. Oh, the last half of that movie.
I am seeing the poster now, and holy shit, how have I not
do not read a single thing about it.
I'm not reading a thing.
Don't read a single. I will tell you, it is not about a sorcerer. It's not supernatural in any way. I did wish.
The poster. What the? It's so weird. I love it.
Honestly, I wish that you hadn't even seen that poster, because I feel like that gives something away. But
I'm excited.
You should be, because that scene genuinely on the poster, I understand why it's on the poster, because I think it's I don't understand how it's not talked about more. I don't know why people have not, it's not in film books. I went to film school. I don't remember this movie was never mentioned. It's one of the greatest scenes, I feel like, committed. Like, just talk about tension. One of the greatest examples of building dramatic tension and suspense within a movie. Great movie. Why was I talking about it? Oh, yeah. Well, so it kind of reminded me of where, like, it's got a similar build where you're like, oh, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And then finally you get there. And I think it has, like, such a, similarly to Sinners, such a distinct mise en scene,
Yeah.
The setting feels
it captures
so
Brazil
rich.
really well.
Yeah. And just like the color, the vibrancy.
Yes. And
it's a very textural. You feel like you can touch it and feel it. Exactly.
Also, it feels like a fever dream, and I think the fact that it's in Portuguese as well helps kind of like add to the mystique. Like, I think I would not want this remade in English, because, like,
oh my god, no.
I think having to, like, read it and having, like, occasional misses where you don't necessarily read a subtitle, so you're just kind of like going off the vibe, but still being able to kind of follow what's happening is such good direction. Like, so many scenes where I'm like glued to the action that's happening that I forget to read the first. That's why I watched it again as well, is because, like, there was so many, like you said, it's so well textured, it's so well lit, just so colorful, and so many movies are just like, here's Rio de Janeiro, and, like, that's it. This felt more like seeing, like, the actual real day-to-day Brazil. Like, seeing it that colorful still is just so, it's so wonderful.
It's so, like, vibrant.
And it feels like mythology and folklore of that time frame, of the 70s. And it's something that I've read about, is like people that have survived from that time frame were like, there's not really necessarily a lot that's concrete about that time frame, because there was so much, like, political infighting, and there was so much corruption that there's not, like, a real concrete set of events that happened. There's just, and it does such a great job of portraying, like, some of this may be real, some of it may not be, but this is like kind of the
The
community's
leg scene.
reaction of that. The leg! I was about to talk about what the fuck! Because, like, when it happened, I was just like, what?
I paused.
What?
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It just comes back and attacks people. Like, what the fuck? But again, it's like that, like, that's got to be based in something.
And it is, like, because I was like, I gotta know more. So, like, after the movie, I read, and it's like, yeah, that is part, like, it was in the newspapers of this leg that attacked people. And
you're like, what do you mean a leg attacks people?
what do you mean?
It feels like it's like a fever dream where you're like, but and like I said, that's what makes it so intriguing, is just seeing, like, truly, if you were to take people's word at what happened from, like, people on the street, people in government, the professor, from all these people, and melded that into one story, this is what that would look like. It's a jumbled fucking mess. It doesn't make sense in such a beautiful way, though. Like, it just, even though I've not been, like, to Brazil, I didn't live through that era, it feels like such, like, a time capsule of that era.
Yeah, and it may be, I feel like in a different movie, I might have felt like it was hammering us over the head, you know, a la Frankenstein or whatever. But I think since this movie had such a sense of, like, satire to it almost, all of, you know, the scenes where, you know, it might take place in, like, a government office or wherever else, and then just, like, the pan and zoom ins on, you know, the dictator's portrait hanging on the wall, but, like, reminding you of, like, this is what life was like underneath this dictatorship.
Yeah.
But in confronting that in such a silly way, to where it does feel farcical and surreal, but also real.
Yeah. It's a very difficult line to balance. There's so many people that try to do it, and when you have a movie that, or an album, or just something in a form of media that, like, just nails that feeling of kind of being in this dream, like trance, with real events, it just hits so well.
And I have to say too, like, it did open, like, it I do appreciate how it opened up my eyes to just my own, like, ignorance of, like, I just didn't realize, like, think about, like, this part of Brazil or whatever having so many different cultural identities and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, this house of, like, refugees and everything. Dona Sebastiana, what a Spitfire woman. What a hero. Creating a votive candle dedicated to her. I love her. Star of the show, truly. Where is her Academy Award nomination?
She should have, yeah.
Truly. Like, she stole every scene that she was in. I loved her.
Number four. Number four for me was Sentimental Value, which we talked about a little bit.
Okay.
What's number four for you?
Number four for me. See, and this is where, because these next three are another toss-up for me. Like, I genuinely, just depending on my mood.
What's your gut instinct?
See, I have a number four here. I'm going to stick to my list. And I feel like maybe I'll change it. Because I think this is the movie I probably enjoyed the most out of all the movies. But again, just for reasons that I've listed, I think other films gave me a feeling that I hadn't necessarily felt before, which I feel like gives it a higher spot in my ranking of what I feel like is, like, more deserving of, like, a Best Picture nominee or, like, Best Picture award. But I have Bugonia as number four.
No.
But again, like I said, I think that was.
I'm saying no, but number four is still a high spot for it.
It is, but and I loved it. Like, I think it's the one that I'll probably like rewatch first.
Yeah.
Obviously, I rewatch Sinners, but
Bugonia at number 4. Ooh.
yeah, I don't. My 2, 3, 4. I didn't know where to put them, and so I was just
Yeah.
like, I had to go to like what made me, what then gave me the most unique feeling out of all of them. And I feel like with me, I think why I have it lower than the other two is because I think I get Yorgos. I get him.
Yeah.
All of his movies, I'm like,
Yeah. They just hit.
they feel like when I dream, it's a Yorgos Lanthimos production.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's
He's-
happening. So to me, I'm like, yeah, this is my life. This is what I experience.
You've experienced. You experience.
Yes,
You experience getting your head shaved and being covered.
truly. The fact that they're called Andromedons, this is so like cringy. But when I was in college, I considered for a brief moment my senior year making music. And like one of the potential monikers that I came up with was Stars Andromedon.
That's incredible.
Like like I wanted, like my artist name would be Stars Andromedon. And so when they were like the Andromedons, I was like, fuck, that's me.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So I love it. And
Yes.
so I just think that's unfortunately like within the ranking of this, I didn't produce as many like unique feelings because I'm like, I'm on that wavelength already. But Begonia, I fucking love this movie.
It's one of those movies that I love because it's one that the longer I'm away from it, the more I like it. And I loved it when it first came out, but even like it happened with like Everything Everywhere All at Once, where the longer when I first watched it, I was like, this is like an 8 out of 10. And then after a week, I was like, this is a 9 out of 10. And then after like, I was like, this is a 10.
This is a 10 out of 10. What am I even
great.
talking about?
Yeah, and that's exactly how I felt about this movie. Was like the longer I thought about it, and the more I peeled it back in my mind, the more I was able to find in terms of meaning. Like Emma Stone's character is just, she's an Andromedon, but also kind of like seeing Jesse Plemons want to find something to blame and not willing to compromise on it being multiple things, and instead just it has to be this one thing. It has to be the Andromedons. It has to be this. But also Michelle, that's her name. Michelle isn't like innocent necessarily. Like she's so unwilling to kind of like they're there to guide humanity, but she doesn't really do a lot to help. It feels like she's doing this more out of like guilt and more like she's trying to help because it's like the right thing to do. And it does feel very much like that is how the ruling class feels, is whenever they do things, it doesn't feel like they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. It's because there's like a slight guilt there, and seeing her immediately turn this human experiment off as soon as she gets to the mothership, it doesn't really solve the issue that she didn't really, she's just kind of perpetuated this idea that it wasn't really her fault. It was just humanity. They were the violent ones. They were the ones that did all this to themselves, even though she didn't really do a lot to help. She kept being a part of this tech company. She didn't help Jesse Plemons' mother. She told him that antifreeze would help his mom. And obviously being in that situation is very different, but she's not necessarily benevolent. I need to rewatch it. I should have rewatched it.
You should rewatch it. It's fantastic.
But I remember like
I mean, you should have watched Train Dreams, but you didn't do that. So like, whatever.
But I remember like when I last was really thinking about it, like seeing her kind of give the planet back is I love endings that take a big swing. And ending all of humanity is a big swing.
Yeah.
But it also shows that like she wasn't really invested in helping out humanity. She was just doing it as kind of like a pet project type experiment. The second it caused inconvenience to her, she ended it all. Even though not necessarily everyone that she encountered was against her because, oh, fuck, what's his name? Dawn. It also shows that Jesse's character is so single-minded, so tunnel-visioned that Michelle is the reason for all of his life's problems. And seeing Dawn, who kind of has like that same mindset of my life sucks, but he doesn't necessarily fully believe it's Michelle, but he's so kind of like fed up with the system that he's just willing to kind of go along with something. He's willing to be complacent and like he doesn't want to capture, he says it when he's down in the basement with her. He doesn't want to capture her for, you know, malicious purposes. He just wants to go to space. Like that's his motivation. He just wants it to kind of end. Like he wants the problems to end. He wants to be somewhere else. He wants to be something different. And I really connected with that.
I think it's really interesting to hear you talk, especially like about Michelle's character and everything, because I think we differ on takeaways with her. But like with Dawn, yeah, I've just been like, life here sucks. And I just want to go away. I want to be away. I want to go somewhere else. Like he has that purity to him.
Yeah.
Of like the grass will be greener. And like that hope and that belief. A lot of what ropes, unfortunately, people into like conspiracy theories and shit like that, of just people who've had shit lives and needing an explanation for why their life is shit. And if they can just put their faith in someone else to tell them why their life is shit, but if they do something, if they help them out in this way, their life won't be shit anymore. So they go along with it. Like it's very, like a very small examination of like, I almost said cultism, but that makes it seem like too big. Like it is.
It just shows how easy it is. It shows that people aren't necessarily like simple-minded. It's just, it's exhausting. Just like living sometimes and just having someone who's like, I have a plan to make this better. It's like, okay, I just want
need
anything,
the plan.
I just need anything other than this.
Yeah.
I feel like he did such a good job of portraying that, of like just not, again, not simple-mindedness, but rather like, I just want something else.
Yeah.
And again, going back to like Jesse Plemons' character, like Stavros at one point is like apologizing to him for being a dick earlier in their lives, and he just runs right past it.
I very much like from that interaction took away like I was like, did he molest him? Like that's what I took away. Because just with how veiled and vague it was, like if it was as simple as like, hey, sorry, I was such a douchebag to you when we were younger and I was your babysitter, that would be a different thing. But just, and he was like, and I never did that to anyone else. And like that was never specified. And I think it's open-ended. Yeah, very open-ended.
But even if it is something that bad, like I think that kind of like
it plays into how
tunnel vision he got.
Exactly. Like it's just another trauma point.
Singular thing instead of like it can be this thing, and it can be my abusive babysitter, and it can be that my mom got fucked over by a tech company, and it can be these other things. But just getting so, if I just do this one thing, it's going to make everything better.
For me, like what really resonated, I really liked the fact that ultimately Teddy was right, but he wasn't correct. You know?
Yeah.
He got this one thing right, but it's like this inability to accept responsibility that I think a lot of conspiracy theorists and like people at large, like it's an indictment of a lot of problems with humanity and just like how we do want to find blame elsewhere. And a lot of times that blame is elsewhere. However, like, there are things that we are contributing to that exacerbate the issue. And just like developing, being like, yeah, you're right. There are aliens. There are Andromedons. You killed how many people and found 2? So what about all the other people? You know? And it's proving that point of like, to me, I was like, yeah, humanity's fucked. She made the right decision. Also, I agree. I like that she was not benevolent. And you saw, at the beginning where...
When she's like, there's not mandatory overtime, but also like...
But also, like, make sure you get your work done. And feel free to get off early. Feel free to go home. If you think that you are at a place where you can go home. Because you do need to, like, meet those quotas. And for me, it seemed almost more like the effect that humanity was having on her.
Okay, so I do have 2 points. One, I think what really resonated with me about the movie was Jesse Plemons' character of like, okay, yeah, there are aliens, but like, what? What are you going to do? And I think...
And like, what harm have you inflicted upon other people now in search of being right?
Like was being right the most important thing? Or was fixing your life the most important thing?
Exactly.
But also, again, that's Michelle. To me, that didn't necessarily strike me as like humanity having an effect on her, because I do think it's a movie as well about class. She's a very high up CEO, and I think that first scene is very important. She could just say, go home and see your families, but having her specify, if you think you've earned it, I think shows she does want to help, but like, how much does she really want to? She says humanity's evil, but she's also creating an environment where they're going to end up becoming what she thinks they are. She's kind of creating this expectation and creating this self-fulfilling prophecy of she's doing these trials that are hurting people, but like for the greater good. It's difficult at times to quantify what is worth that sacrifice. Like what's worth, doing trials on however many people and affecting them negatively. Like,
well, I mean, like, look at Michelle and her work with like the trials and everything on Teddy's mom and the other people who died for that, and then also Teddy with his trials and trying to figure out who the aliens are.
Yeah,
like I do like it. It's a great movie because it has so many like layers and textures and complexity to each character, and very much how it's like this system that's driving these people to these ends to be like, there must be some larger scheme to it all.
Yeah.
It's like crafting this system that's ultimately going to lead to her own demise.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. Again, and like any movie that wipes out humanity, it's always like sting me a little bit.
But also too, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful montage. And like it's kind of, you suddenly get like such a sense of peace after the end of this very tense back and forth. The final moment of peace is we're all dead. What a bold thing to do.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But also, I think seeing the film acknowledges that she's not necessarily correct in a way. Like, I feel like it does a good job of showing that it's not necessarily the right call, and that maybe her judgment's clouded, obviously, by what's happened to her. Again, it feels so human. It feels so...
It's a very reflexive movie.
Exactly.
You hit the knee, your foot flicks out.
But it feels very human to make this snap decision with mass implications for like the millions of people that don't do anything wrong, for the millions of people that are good people, that if she would have been around them, would have given her a completely different experience. Like, this movie and Iron Giant are like two sides of the same coin, I feel. Like, this is just the dark side of the Iron Giant, where in that movie, Iron Giant is sent to destroy humanity and ends up realizing because of the people he's around, humanity's worth saving. Whereas this movie's because of the people that she encounters, humanity needs to be destroyed. And I think, again, that dichotomy like hit me after I watched it because it was the first movie I thought of afterwards. Because again, seeing all of humanity wiped out versus all of humanity saved is like such a unique thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I love this movie. It's
yeah. And the
I
score,
mean,
you know,
yes,
I don't agree with you on the one battle after another, but the score of this movie, I fucking love that one scene. That
yeah,
scene where Teddy like goes outside. He's in the station wagon. It's like the extreme wide shot of the station wagon
yeah,
just rocking back and forth because she's like screaming inside and there's like trumpets and horns blaring and
yeah,
Dawn is just on the porch kind of like waiting for him to chill out and come out of the car and be okay. I feel like we need to move forward because we've been
yes.
talking for so long, but I can keep talking about Bugonia for so long because
Okay, okay.
I love the
Yep.
movie.
All right. Number three.
Number three,
Number three.
you go.
The Secret Agent.
The
I
Secret
had it
Agent.
at three. Yes.
Okay.
What do you have at three?
I have Train Dreams.
Oh my god. Okay. How much time do you want to spend talking about this since I have
Here's the
not
deal. Okay, this was the movie I was least looking forward to, and that probably worked to its advantage because I was like, I remember when I looked up the Best Picture nominees and all the other movies, I was like, yeah, I've heard of this. Like, this has been on a watch list, and I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. And and I was like, what the fuck is Train Dreams?
Yeah.
Seriously? And I was like, well, maybe it'll be like a, modern kind of like train spotting, reminiscent type of movie. And then I looked up the plot and I was like, it's about a lumberman in the like late 1800s to early 19. Who gives a fuck? Like, what do I
Yeah.
really? And I almost thought about pulling a Brett and just like skipping it and not watching it and being like, and just throwing it in, not at the last place, but just, maybe like 7 or 8 to be like, oh yeah, it was fine. And just skipping it all together and pretending like I had watched it when I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's streaming for free on Netflix. And so I was like, fine, whatever, I guess I'll watch it. So I did. And I fucking loved it. I loved it. So as I said, if it doesn't win for cinematography,
You're gonna be upset.
I'm swearing off the Oscars for an entire year until next year.
Okay. All right.
When it's
Sounds
time to
good.
do it all over again.
All
But
right.
I can't tell you how many of my notes while watching the movie was like, God, this film is fucking gorgeous. It's one thing to be able to like craft a beautiful shot. It's another thing to craft a beautiful shot in natural light and have the light be so well balanced. It's yet another thing to have such a beautiful shot, natural light, so well balanced, going from inside with no electric lighting and also have like your outside also be just as balanced and still see everything as gorgeously done as it is in this movie. It's just beautiful. Every single frame I want printed out. I want to stare at it in a book, but no, not a book, something with backlighting so I can get all the richness of all the colors. But also like beyond the visuals, just the story itself felt so unique because ultimately like the theme is about like the interconnectedness of life. And I think you can wrap up, there's this whole scene between Joel Edgerton's character and Carrie Condon comes in later on as like, and like it's almost like the whole movie is like this set of vignettes pretty much of Joel Edgerton like meeting all these different characters and everything throughout his life. And they have this conversation, talking about life and everything and, the woods, where he lived had burned down. But she's just come out there and she's like, you would never have even known that there was a fire here. And it's like a very poignant moment because, spoiler alert, do you want it?
No, I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll come back.
But there's a moment where she's like, but she says, even the smallest insect in the forest is as vital as the river. And I think that's the whole theme of the movie, is that everything within the earth like relies on each other. And we see like so many in the background of this man's life, these crucial moments within history. Like we have the transcontinental railroads being built, the Industrial Revolution, the invention of the electric light bulb, the invention of the airplane and the telephone. And like the movie kind of like where it ends, which I don't know how to like talk about it without, because the ending really does, that's what like sealed the deal for me. So I'm going to spoil this a little bit, but it's not really like, it's not like that spoilery.
Yeah.
It's not something that like you need to not know the ending for. It's not going to ruin the viewing experience to know this. But like so much of his life is like lived in nature, out like being a lumberman. And then finally, like where he's at the end of his life in like the 60s, we see him go to Spokane and he like walks past a television set, and it's so jarring because we spent so much time within like these towering redwoods and within nature that like you forget. You're like, holy shit, that experience, I felt like I was him seeing a television for the first time. And he's like, what is this? And the girl at the counter is like, oh, we sent a man to the moon. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, can you imagine? Like, I just can't imagine experience like that much technological advancement within one lifetime. And so the movie ends and he decides to like go up for a plane ride, which is something that he could never have envisioned for himself. And there's this moment where the pilot's like, all right, hold on. And he's like, what? And they do a spin. And he has this look of like, oh my God. And we go to this stunning montage of like all these key moments in his life. And it's like, and it's at that moment he realizes what life is all about. And I just like immediately burst into tears because we have all of these very important things where, you know, we've made movies about the Industrial Revolution. We've made movies about sending the man to the moon for the first time. We've made plenty of movies about World War II and plenty of movies about World War and the invention of the light bulb. But what about like the people who made that happen? And like this guy was a crucial part of it, and we never know his story. But he is like the smallest insect in the forest who is just as vital as the river. He is just as important as JFK was, or as like, you know, FDR, or like any of these like huge notable figures in history. And I think that I've seen other movies do that where it's like, oh, it's just like some person who would never have a story made about them. And you can tell that like this is an adapted work because it's so gorgeously written. Like there are multiple lines that I wrote down that just like struck me to my core. And like even watching it, I didn't know going into it. Over the course of the movie, I was like, this has to be an adaptation of like a book or a novella or something. And it is. Because I was like, this has like written word all over it. And like most of the story isn't like done with narration, but it's done so well because like it's like this voice of God. Yeah. And it's like the voice of God is giving importance to this man who in any other story would have just been in the background. And feeling that sense of like, no matter who you are, like you serve a purpose. And like that's a theme with like, you know, the trees that they cut down. They're cutting down these like huge redwoods. And this one character is like, these redwoods have stood for 500 years and we just cut them down. And another character is like, yeah, well, we could cut down all the trees in the forest, but by the time we've done that, the first ones we cut down will have grown up to be trees again. But it's like, no, this does have importance. And it's like, you have importance. It just, I thought was such a touching, quiet, unexpected movie that like just cut me to my core. And I cried so much. I was boohoo sobbing. I like went back and I like rewatched the moment when like he makes the face in the montage again, and I just like cried again. So I'm a Train Dream stan because
Okay.
because it was so unexpected. I was not expecting it.
It's getting you now.
Yeah, I know. Even now, it's one of those movies that I feel like most people are gonna have the reaction that I did, like initially, where you're like, Train Dream, like, come on. I don't need to watch that. Why would I watch that? Sounds boring. And it's not. It's really not. I think more people should watch it. I thought it was just a beautiful, tender, touching film. You should really watch it. You should really watch it, Brad.
Convince me, I'll watch it.
I just want to know if you cry at the end. Rachel did. Rachel cried.
Good for her.
Yeah. She's a cold-hearted bitch.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2, I have Sinners. And I feel like, we've talked about it, and for like all the reasons that I said, just because it was something that I'd not seen before, and so, a perspective I've not seen before, and just I just thought it was like a very cool. What? Why are you laughing at me?
I know what your number 1 is now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you fucking do.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 was One Battle After Another with me.
Okay.
Which means my number 1, Bugonia.
Bugonia. And again, like I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that whatsoever. I loved
Your
Bugonia.
number 1 is Hamnet, which I ranked last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did.
Okay. All right. We've heard my perspective. I again, whatever you say about this movie, I'm gonna agree with you. Like, I love Paul Mescal. I love Jessie Buckley.
It's Mescal. I'll give you that because it wasn't until last week that I realized Jessie Buckley's name was Jessie. I've been calling her Jamie Buckley. I know.
Okay. I do like Paul. I do like Jessie a lot. It just did not, like, the whole time. I was just like, yeah, all right, okay.
I have this movie as number 1 because, like, no other movie on the list evoked such feeling from me. I have less notes on it than I do a Sentimental Value because after I left, well, as I described, I was already trying not to like heaving sob in the movie theater because of all these old people around me who were keeping it fucking tight.
Keeping it locked down, yeah.
Keeping it locked down. I straight, like at one point where I was just crying. And I like stuffed gummy worms in my mouth to try to keep myself from like vocalizing my tears. I thought maybe if I engaged my mouth in some other way, then that would help. And like it kind of did. So it worked. Yeah. But as soon as the movie ended, it directed by Chloe Zhao, boom, lights up. 19-year-old with her broom staring straight at us, wanting us to get out. And I'm like...
Staring straight at you. You're like... Oh,
crying. I mean, like... So, like, trying to, like... pull myself together to be able to walk out into daylight. And so I walk out of there, and I get to my car, and then I get to my car, and I just cried. And I just cried, and I cried, and I cried. And there are people walking their dogs. And there are people leaving work. Walking past my Honda Civic. I'm not even in a dignified car. I'm in my Honda Civic. Missing its back right bumper. It's missing its back right bumper.
It's fine.
People assume that I'm an idiot, but I was a hit and run. They hit me, okay? It's not my fault I lost my back right bumper, but I did. And now I'm crying in this damn car. And they don't know that I'm crying because I saw Hamnet. Not because I'm just like... an emotionally unstable woman. I've just been through the trials, all right, that Chloe Zhao put me through. But I think I love anything that can make me feel. Like, it's a movie that I felt like I don't know how to talk about. I just know how to feel about it. And what I feel about it is just a heart-wrenching look at life and love and family and grief and the different ways that we process grief. I was listening to Chloe Zhao like talk about how Agnes and William are opposites in so many ways, you know, obviously like the feminine versus the masculine and the natural versus civilization, and you know, the yin and the yang, and how Agnes expresses her grief and William can't, like it's trapped inside and he has to like find it in other ways, like he expresses his grief through his writing and everything. And oh my god, like when that little boy, that little Hamnet, that little Hamnet, oh my god. Talking about casting, ooh talking about great child performances, ooh yeah, this movie got it. And they got three phenomenal child performers to really sell the shit out of this movie. And that little boy, the little Hamnet broke my heart. He was so good, and I'm a dummy. Here's the thing, I'm a dummy because like that first title card, remember you were like, you saw the first title card and you're like, okay, well, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, back in the 1600s or whenever this takes place, Hamnet and Hamlet were interchangeable names. And then once Hamnet comes about and it's the son, I'm like, typical fucking man. Out of all the children he has, he's going to name the play after his son. God damn it.
Oh, you didn't see it. Oh, no.
I didn't. And once it happened, I was like, I'm such a fucking idiot. Like, obviously, that's why. That's why it's called Hamlet. And I felt so foolish. Because once it got there, I was like, oh, yeah. Should have seen that one coming. But I didn't. But the scene where, you know, William tells him that he's going to go away again, and he starts to tear up, and he's like, I don't want you to go. And he's like, I need you to be brave. And he's like, okay. And he's like, will you be brave? And they have like that sweet, tender moment.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We gotta move on so you can.
I'm sorry.
You can. It's good.
This little boy, and when Agnes touches his thumb, and he's like, what do you see? She's like, I see you on stage and performing. What are you with your father? But it wasn't him. It was Hamlet. It was the actor. It was him when he was older. Oh.
I'm sorry.
I can't. Oh my god, that little boy broke my heart. But also, like, not also the girls, like especially Susanna when she like comes in when Agnes is holding Hamnet, and it is like, come on, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, she's not saying that, but Susanna's there watching, and she's like, let him be. Like, can't you see how much pain he's in? Like, he's like, just let him go, essentially. And it's so horrific for both of them because obviously, like, the mother can't let him go, but also neither of them are wrong. And similarly with how William and Agnes express their grief, like, you come to realize William isn't necessarily wrong. He just has a different way of expressing it. Once they finally like have that moment where she realizes he wasn't running away from it. He wasn't running away from their family. He just didn't know what else to do with it. And this is how he's processing and like giving their son life elsewhere and like allowing him to pass on. And when, you know, I remember watching, and when little Hamnet is looking around in the kind of wallpapered room and the little holly branch, I was like, where is he? I'm like, oh, he's not in the real woods. And I kind of thought, I was like, oh no, like he's in this weird purgatory, because I thought it was obviously like Agnes is so tied to the forest and going like she's a forest witch's daughter and everything, and bringing her, and how she wasn't allowed to have her children in the forest. I was like, oh no, so is he not allowed to escape through the forest, like, and pass on? And then find, like, to get to the end, and when you open up on the stage and you see that wallpaper and Hamlet comes out on the stage and you have that cut and you're like, it's him on stage, like, and the
Yeah.
holly branch, and like finally like having a way to let him pass on and the rest is silence. And just how like love does not go away, it simply transforms. And it just wrecked me. And I love a movie that can do that. But in a very hopeful way. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah, it's not depressing. It's very
exactly because
Yeah.
I can see as he goes away. Like you're left with the sense of now like Agnes and William, like they can. I don't want to say move on because there is no moving on, but they can come back
Move
to each
forward.
other. They can move forward. Where it's not like a movie like I remember when I watched Blue Valentine, and it's just that movie is so depressing, and you
Yeah.
end it and you're like, should I kill myself? I don't know. Maybe I should. Like, and that's
Yeah.
not at all. Like I don't think I've never cried so much at a movie, but still left being like, love. Love is the
Yeah.
point of it all. And I think anything where it's kind of leaves me after I've like talked and talked and talked for so long to be like, it left me speechless.
Yeah.
But it did.
did.
I
Yeah.
did like it was like a very much a feelings movie for me. And so for that reason I'm like I've got to put it at number 1 because nothing else struck me as intensely as that movie struck me.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Well, in order, your top 10.
Go for it.
Mine, Train Dreams, not available. Haven't finished it yet. Number 9, Hamnet. Number 8, F1. Number 7, Frankenstein. Number 6, Sinners. Number 5, Marty Supreme. Number 4, Sentimental Value. Number 3, The Secret Agent. Number 2, One Battle After Another. Number 1, Bugonia.
I don't know why I was so confident we would have like the same list.
I feel like this time next year we might have a very different list as well.
Very true. Very
I
true.
like having it be a different list. So like,
I know you had me gooped, gagged, and falling on the floor from the first film announcement. So even before when you texted me and said that you didn't finish Train Dreams, I nearly threw my phone. I was like, brother, you don't even know what the Train Dreams spiel you're about to hear from this mouth. Because Train Dreams was one of my top movies of the year.
all right, so your top 10.
My
Number
top
10 is-
10, F1, obviously.
yeah.
9, Frankenstein. 8, Sentimental Value. 7, switched it up, Marty Supreme. 6, One Battle After Another. 5, The Secret Agent. 4, Bugonia. 3, Train Dreams. 2, Sinners. 1, Hamnet.
Thank you for all of your
Thanks.
thoughts. This was very illuminating. I love getting to chat movies with you.
Me too. All right, good luck on watching. Are you going to watch movies this weekend? Because I'm going to.
I am sure
I'm
I
watching
will.
Wuthering Heights this weekend.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts,
All right, love you.
as the kids are doing. Is that it?
Yeah, like something like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Spiders. I don't know. Something like this. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later, Brad.
Talk to you later. Love you.
Love you. Bye.